Nilfgaard, the villains of Gwent. All right, I've got to be honest. I think this is probably one of the hardest factions to start with. The deck they've given you is slow to put your engines down and not terribly powerful in the kind of plays they give you in your golds. So, given that their entire strategy is to use the opponent's deck against them, and you're just learning how to use your own cards, much less their cards too, and then use it against them, may not be the best starting deck for you. However, if you are particularly villainous in your personality, maybe it is. Maybe you just find the interactions more interesting and you like pissing people off, which is kind of what Nilfgaard does best. Maybe it is the best faction for you. But right here, what we have is their starting deck that they've given us. All right. Of course, you got your standard Geralt, your Sweers, who seizes a 3-power unit or less from their side of the board, pulls it to your side of the board for a maximum of 9 points. But it's kind of removal that may even be an engine for you, so it can be good. They got your Vigo. Artorias Vigo shows you some bronzes, and it's 3 of them from your deck. So because you have so many, you're not going to know what's coming. So you got to pick it and hope it's the one you wanted. But it is an assimilate, and that means it's an engine. And we haven't gone over it yet. So assimilate basically means it boosts itself by 1 every time you play a card that isn't in your starting deck. So you have these cards that trigger your assimilate, like diplomacy and all that stuff. We'll go over that in a second. Glynis is a good engine in that she boosts herself by 2 every time you play one of those cards. Summoning Circle is creating a bronze unit from any faction, so obviously that's not in your starting deck. It's going to proc your assimilate engines. Dorgray is just a standard lock. You've got this Runestone, which is creating a bronze Nilfgaard faction card. It's going to show you 3 options. You're going to pick one. And it's going to be from all the bronzes of Nilfgaard's faction. You got 2 Thunders, which are just 5-point removal cards. 2 Remedies, which play a bronze unit from your opponent's graveyard. A lot of the times you're going to want to get your own spies out of their graveyard. Use them again. These Diplomacies create a bronze faction from your opponent's faction. A bronze card from your opponent's faction. You got 2 Locks. They're 5-point body locks. They're soldiers. They basically can help you get your Imperial Brigades out. And you've got a couple Diviners, they're Purifies, and they're engines in their own right. These 2 Duchess Informant Spies go to the opponent's side of the board, copy something, and then you play it on your side of the board. So you're giving them 1 point. In exchange, you're getting an engine of whatever they've played over there. These 2 Ducal Guards are just simply 4-point body soldiers with the assimilate tag. And these are 3-point bodies with 2 armor, which can actually be kind of helpful, and a assimilate tag. Now, I'm not going to show me playing this starter deck as is, because I just think it's a complete waste of time. It's a very difficult deck to play, and the fundamentals are the same. You get your engines down, and then you try to proc them with these cards, but it's very difficult and not very good. So, hopefully you can learn the fundamentals off of me playing this other deck I've built based on the starter deck. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. So, after opening a bunch of Nilfgaard kegs, while I've been building and working on the monsters deck, I was opening Nilfgaard kegs as well, and I was able to find a lot of golds and craft some as well. So, sometimes, especially while you're working on going up to pro rank, you find cards that are good. They may not be the ones that you wanted or the ones that are shown in the tier 1 deck, but you can build decks around them. Emir is one of them. He's not a significant card in any meta deck that exists right now, but he is not a bad card. He is a gold. So when I found him, I said, all right, we're playing him. All right. And my process so far has also been, besides integrating any other gold. So we have found like Anna Henrietta as well, I've crafted 3 legendary cards for each of these. Masquerade Ball. Let's start here. Masquerade Ball is the first scenario that I've crafted for one of these videos. It's basically so good they pushed it up to 15 provisions, and they even nerfed, which means they've made it worse. They've nerfed it by getting rid of the fact it can't be procced by spies anymore. There was a couple cards like Roderick here that used to proc it because he's an aristocrat. So they made it very difficult to proc it, and they've boosted it up to 15 provisions, and it's still significantly good in this game. It's tough to beat because it spawns, as soon as you play it, a 4-point Thirsty Dame, who is a great engine that boosts itself by 1 per status that's put on the other side of the board. Okay? Next time you play an aristocrat, it plays a Fangs of the Empire, which is a 4-point body that poisons an enemy unit. Okay? Next aristocrat poisons another unit, same, Fangs of the Empire. So you would essentially it's possible you kill an enemy's unit, it's a really tall unit, and you've procced this Thirsty Dame twice. And this is a great engine right here, which you'll see why later. Hold on. So next thing we have crafted, Usurper. Of course, I'm crafting the evolving cards with all these decks. I love them. I think they're some of the best cards in the game, and they're very commonly used. Usurper is one of the most popular Nilfgaard cards. He evolves into the general in round 2. So in round 1, he creates an operative on, the side of your choice, and then he pulls them back. So he's a 9-point play. Round 2, he spawns 1 on each side and pulls both of them back. All right, now you got a 12-point play. Round 3, if you have Devotion, he turns into the Emperor. He's got Veil, and he boosts every agent by 1 point. So he still spawns the operatives, which each have spying, so that procs your ball twice, your Thirsty Dame twice. Then he pulls them back for a 12-point play. And then he continues to boost agents, boosts himself by 1 every time you play like a Fangs or another kind of agent. So he's very good. Don't think we have any other agents in this deck, but he's still a good card for a lot of those reasons. Okay, Emir is an aristocrat. He's a legendary card. I found him in a keg, so you can work with him or work without him. For this particular deck that I've adapted around having found, this amazing gold card. So basically, you get a little bit of hand fix when you play him. You draw a card and you get to choose one to put at the bottom of your deck. So say you completely bricked or got a card you don't want. As soon as you play him, get rid of that card, you get a new one. So whenever your opponent plays cards after Emir is on the board, it's going to get spying. So say you play Ball first, then you play Emir. Okay, next card the opponent plays is going to proc Thirsty Dame. And then the next one, and then the next one. So now your engine's going a little bit crazy, and the opponent's going to have to do something about that. As well, you're going to be able to seize 1 power enemy units with spying. So mostly that's going to be your spies that you put on the other side of the board. Okay, but there's also a chance that once they play a unit that's spying, you can damage it to 1 and then steal that. If it's an engine, that's awesome. So there's always that possibility as well. And with Devotion, we're going to be able to keep stealing spies every time we play them, basically increasing the value of our spy cards. All right, Brathens. So this was the 3rd craft that I did. Emir was a keg find. Ball, Usurper, and Brathens are all crafts that I did from just getting the scraps. Opening kegs, getting the scraps, crafting them. So Brathens creates and plays a Bronze Disloyal unit, which is a spy from your starting deck. I have 2 in the deck, so you're going to either play an Emissary, who's going to go, and we'll show you, or a Duchess's Informant. Okay? And we looked at the Duchess Informant from the other deck, so that's the one you would be playing most of the time. Anna Henrietta was another keg find, lucky break. If you find good cards, you put them in this deck, okay? She's an aristocrat. When you use your leader, you're able to get the opponent's leader to use against them. Not all enemy leaders are going to be valuable for you. However, sometimes it's going to be amazing. So, Anna Henrietta is a great card to throw in here if you find her. If you don't find her, there are other options that are just as good. Say, Yennefer's Invocation is an amazing one, but you may want to include more bronze aristocrats to take her place. We got our Vigo, we got our Seret, and our Ox. Seret and Ox are a pair. Essentially, Seret damages a card by 2. If Ox is in your hand, he damages by 4, so he plays for 9. So he can be kind of good removal. Alternately, if you have Ox in your hand and Seret, and you want to play Ox first, you can lock an enemy unit and any other copies of the enemy unit. Think Indraga Larva. Boom, boom. Just lock them both. In fact, if there's 4 on the board, you can lock all 4. Easy peasy. So through keg openings, I found Palmerin and Milton. Now, these are not in the slightest commonly used cards, but we can play them for value. And given that we are scrounging up cards to try and get, try and climb, plus Palmerin was a premium, we don't mind. We're going to try it. We're going to keep these guys in for now because I think they've got nice little synergies, especially Palmerin, who, when they get the death blow, and if Milton's in hand, you always get the death blow. But when he gets his death blow, he gives spying to adjacent enemy units, which is, boom, 1/2, Thirsty Dame, basically procs. So 2 points on Thirsty Dame just because you played Palmerin. So if you can set up the death blow, you just gave 2 extra points to your Thirsty Dame. And if you don't do that, Milton, and if Palmerin's in your hand, you always get the death blow, but Milton will damage the adjacent units by 2. So essentially playing for 10 for these 7 provisions. Not terrible, especially because we're scrounging right now. We're going to keep the Glennis because we do have our Duchess Informants. We do have our leader, which lets us look at the 3 cards from the opponent's hand and play one of them. So that's pretty cool. We got our Roderick for consistency. There's no doubt in my mind you're going to find this guy in a keg at some point. He's awesome. He lets you look at 2 random gold cards from your deck and you play one of them. We've got Amnesty, and because we are running Devotion, again, this is the third faction I've done, and all 3 of them I've made Devotion decks, so give some thought to that. Devotion's not the best thing ever, but if you don't have specific neutral cards you want to play, Devotion is a good idea for a lot of reasons, especially in these 3 factions that I've done so far. So you seize an enemy unit with 3 power or less, then you boost it by 2 if you have the conspiracy tag. So basically, if it was a spying unit, which you can give, you're going to get some spying units from Emir essentially being on the board, or possibly Palmerin. But with Devotion, you always get that boost by 2, essentially. So something to think about. We got 2 experimental remedies. You're probably going to want to mull these in round 1 because there's nothing in the graveyard. But in the course of round 1, the opponent's going to play some cool bronzes. You're going to play some spies, informant, whatever. You can get those back with experimental remedy. It's going to just basically increase the synergies with Emir and seditious aristocrats, which we'll look at. And, basically those kind of things. Anything else that's got a assimilate tag on it, like Vigo and Glennis. And we've gotten rid of a lot of the assimilate trigger engines, and we're instead kind of making just value plays like thinning Hunting Pack. So Hunting Pack is if the enemy unit has status, you're going to summon the other dog from the row. Now if you play it through Vigo, you potentially are playing both the dogs from the deck, thinning twice for a 9-point play from the dogs alone, And then I think 3 points from the Vigo. Not bad. Next up, we got our 2 seditious aristocrats who boost themselves by 1 for every spying enemy unit. Whenever an enemy unit gains spying, boosts self by 1. Basically, these guys go off like crazy when you start using your Emir, when you use your ball, all of those things. So they proc the ball and they benefit from it. Probably even, maybe not as much as the Thirsty Dame, but definitely good engines. We got our informants. We got our 2 Nausicaa Sergeants, which basically just boost themselves by 1 every time you play a deploy ability on a unit. And we got 1 Hunter I'd like to fit into, but I wanted some of these other bronzes. The bronzes are actually harder for me to decide with than these golds, because I don't really care about the middle here. But all right, that's the deck. We're going to link it in the description, and you can try it yourself if you find these cards or some arrangement of these cards. Okay, now we're playing against the Arrakis Swarm. Okay. We got the red coin. Alright, we have Vigo in hand, which means if we mull Hunting Pack, there's a chance we can pull the dogs from the Vigo, which is always good. We do have the Knightly couple, and I think that we are going to mull our aristocrats. Okay, we find the Usurper, so we've got a pretty freaking good hand. For red coin, I don't think we mind. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and try and thin doggos. Now, we have other bronzes. We could find this. We could find our lock. We could find that. We could find one of these spies. So it's not guaranteed. We're going to try it out, see what we find. We do it. Doggos are out. This is also a good play against any monsters deck, but particularly Arrakis Swarm likes to run Predatory Dive. Now, Pred Dive will kill the lowest unit on either side. Since they're able to just play a 1 anytime they want, if we played a tall unit to begin with, they could easily just murder our side of the board. Okay. So we get the Crimson Curse out, round 1, that's good. And all we did is a little thinning, not too bad. Let's play an engine, shall we? So you could also say it would have been smart just to play this first. I agree. Yeah, can't argue with that. That would have got an extra point from playing this. But he's going to Parasite it. Getting that Parasite out, honestly, is quite amazing. Yeah. Let's go with Glynis now. You do the Emperor proud. Oh. And now that Parasite's out, he doesn't have easy removal for that. He might have a lock, though. Okie doke. Sure, sure. Yeah, I think we want to try. And actually playing Glynis before this is even better, but she would have gotten Parasited.
My loyalty is to Imperial coin, not to the face depicted thereon.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
Okay, we eat a little bleeding, not a bad deal. So yeah, I guess in this game, just in terms of sequencing engines, which I think is kind of the common issue, especially with the other starter deck, is just you gotta get these engines out, but you're also wanting to answer the opponent's plays. Okay. So, They're swarming pretty well. You can see a Milton being played here. And remove 2 units from the back. Remove 3 if we're willing to lose some value. Hold on. Yeah, in terms of our golds, I think we're okay not spending those right now. So let's just do this. Kind of unswarm him a little bit. We are looking at a tie if he passes, which we won't take. But at least he doesn't lose uneven, so maybe he takes that. Nope, he goes ahead with the Yennifer. Alright, we get that out right now. That's not a bad deal. Alright. Okay. So if this is the tier 1 Arrakis Swarm list, I don't think we can win. We're not a tier 1 deck. We're not even a tier 2 or tier 3 deck. We're just trying to make the best use of the cards that we were able to craft in a short period of time. And right now, currently, Nilfgaard is a little bit weakened after the last nerfing. They're getting some good cards for this new expansion, but just looking at it, it's not looking too hot for Nilfgaard the rest of this season, which is only a few days, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not looking too hot for this game either. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, of course I'm not doing that. Switch to in-game camera. All right, Mr. Swarmy's gonna swarm. Now, if this is the tier 1 list, he does run Heat Wave. I think we just go ahead and give him the Masquerade Ball. One thing with Ball is if you're getting bled, it's maybe probably just a good idea to get it out of your hand early so they can get value. You can't get value if you're holding on to it. And he does have the Heat Wave. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So we can get some points doing this and reduce some swarm. Cool. So we get the 2 extra points for the spying. That's also going to translate over to the aristocrats. We pull ahead just for now. Okay, he's probably playing as Arrakis Behemoth. Okay. All right. So he's filled this board, which means that General is not going to spawn one of his spying units. It may have been a good idea to just go ahead and play General after that last turn, so he couldn't do this. But if we can save General for the last round, it might be very helpful for us. So now we can open up a spot, and we can take a look at what he's got. Okay. Interesting stuff. So I think Frenzied Dow is probably the best we're going to find. Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and move this. It doesn't make a difference what we're moving, really. It kind of makes his Chimera worse if he's playing Chimera. Yeah. But yeah, the Curse of Corruption probably is going to be a problem. We don't really want to give him a unit on his side of the board because swarming is everything to them. Okay, so the other card was Triss Telekinesis. So there's no Chimera. But he may find a Talisman. Does not. So swarming really doesn't do much more for him knowing those 3 cards. hesitant to play this until we see the Curse of Corruption come out.
Has a nice ring to it, has it not?
So we're still, you know, just fine on this bleed right now. We figured that Masquerade Ball was going to get yeeted as soon as it hit the board anyway, so this is enough actually, because it's going to proc Thirsty Dame. So we only need 4. It's going to give us 5.
I wonder what my slave will capture this time.
Okay. And we don't go down a card, so that's good, good, good. He's used up a lot of leader. Yeah, only problem is we know there's a Curse of Corruption now. Could be a bit problematic, so we can't just play a mirror. Though, giving him the general, he may take that curse. We'll see. Okay, got some aristocrats. Yeah, it's too bad a mirror can't live. Yeah. Probably nothing to lock here. He's just a nice 6-point body. Yeah, there weren't any bronzes I wanted to pull. So we're guaranteed Anna Henrietta to get a leader, his leader. I'm just gotta go ahead and do this. So maybe he takes his curse here. I don't know. Ooh, I should have put the aristocrats down first. My bad, you guys. Because these two do not have spying anymore. They would have gotten spying from... Yeah, that engine should have gone down first. Hey, we make mistakes. We all do. This is an agent too, so it's going to boost that usurper up.
A problem best solved discreetly.
Okay, that makes it a chance that Emir doesn't get hit by the curse. We're going to try playing him next. We may, it depends on this. Yeah, I can't imagine we draw into something better, but if we do... God, it would be really nice to have a rope punish right now, right?
Patience is not a virtue I am known to have.
Yeah, they're not going to play any bronzes that we want. Okay, here comes the curse. We got 50-50. Is this an agent? Nah, he's just a witcher. Is this an agent? Nope. Okay, he's doing his Chimera thing first. Sure. That's an agent. Right? Nope, not an agent.
You have our undivided attention.
So she's playing for an 8, but I had to spend 2 to get her, so it's really only a 6. Oh well. Yeah, we probably lose.
Sometimes I've had about
And Curse of Corruption is the last one, which is enough, right? No? Lose by 1? They lose by 1, I mean? Yeah. Alright, well, that's close. Well, I don't think I played the best on that one, but we pulled it off in the end. Right. Okay, possibly we got a Vi player. Overwhelming Hunger. So we've already seen a monster's tier 1 deck list come against us. And we won. Wasn't bad. Nice pair there. I don't mind this in round 1. Definitely better than that. Blue coin. Okay, we end up with the doggos. After all, that's alright. Let's get our engine down. Okay, we're going Haunt round 1. I wonder if this is V. I mean, if we did decide to go ball, we would have to draw Anna or Artorias, and the odds are not great for that. Not a ton of good options here to be perfectly honest about that. Yeah. We are gonna go just tall here. If it is Vi, what it might do is prevent him from okay, that's not a Death Wish unit. It's interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna play these dogs. And I'm gonna boost that. I was a little bit scared of a Manticore there, but we got lucky. Okay, okay. It is a regular Death Wish deck approach, I believe. Unless they're like half Vi or something weird. Either way, we're okay. And we get out of the round. So, may not be exciting to be bled in round 2 by this, but it's better than getting losing on even. So with him committing Haunt right off the bat and then not getting ahead of us, we actually lucked out a little bit because this play was bad. I don't even know what that was. Like, you have a consume. You have another one if you play a Death Wish unit. You have Death Wish units, obviously. So if you wanted to get ahead round 1, why not, you know, get ahead, stay ahead? So he kind of gave me a pass there. So I was like, yep. You know what? I didn't even turn the music back on. Here we go. Okay. We now have our procs for the ball. Alright, yep. That can be good if it's like a harpy egg or something. Let's just play that. Okay. Ooh, now I wish I had that again. Okay. Not ideal, but I think if he's gonna bleed below 7, Glennis is a good way to prevent losing to that. What is with these guys? Why are we playing them? Ugh, don't have Ox in hand. I don't think the Glennis is an overcommitment here.
Victories require great sacrifice.
So I can do a copy next turn of something. Even this is probably okay. This is not a great card, you guys. Just letting you know. Okay, he's gonna do some thinning. Cool. We'll just see if he wants to go below 7 or not. I think that the Serret is probably a fine card to drop if we need to just take the round here. Okay. He's got a Penitent. Is he gonna leader charge it? No. I think we're just gonna take that. Let's take a look. That's a 7 provision. I think that's it. Sure. Okay. Doesn't work for me, I guess. Oh, he's 6 provisions. Okay, I forgot they boosted him, actually. That's a... It doesn't matter. It would be better to leave him alive if I'd known that. He's 7. Oh, okay. We using leader now? We're not gonna use leader? Okay, bro. Yeah, let's do this. And let's get ahead. Now, if I had that consume... Not working out. You know what, actually, now that I think about it, the Maruna would have been better. Because I believe she has a 5-point body. And now I've put a 4-point body on the board for her to take. Yeah. Gonna have to leader charge that anyway. And he's not gonna leader charge that. Okay. Let's see. I think we're okay to take Roderick. We might need to commit the ball pretty soon here, actually. Actually, let's just take this. Because I don't think it matters if we take the ball now or in a couple turns. Okay. That's a pretty sick play. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Alright. Really don't want to spin ball here. We are not a very powerful deck. Again, scroungers. So there's not a whole lot in the deck after this. But again, he spent his scenario round 1. It gets us ahead here. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh dear. Have I something in my teeth?
We don't even, I mean, like, we're benefiting from this Thirsty Dame with Palmerin killing this. And then getting those 2 spying statuses. Because that'll boost to 6. So, that's still a great play. What's he eating here? It doesn't work like that, buddy. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I played that Masquerade Ball, is I wanted the Thirsty Dame so that this Palmerin would be good. Saving this is still a very good strategy for now. And if we go for this and get Anna, Henrietta, we get our another leader. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have poisons, man, if I get some aristocrats in here. Okay, this guy's going all in. So. Okay. Where at?
Push on! No mercy!
I don't want to copy any of this crap. Not really. I think I'll just take the emissary. Boost up my little knight guy here. So we didn't find Anna, which is my hope. Okay. So he's throwing the game by overextending on this bleed to where I can just easily get out with just this card right here. Sure. Okay. This is pretty excellent. We are not guaranteed to find something good with that. Look at this, all golds, not bad. This could still be a spy if we wanted it to be. Yeah, I'm kind of sad I lost that Brathens.
There is but one punishment for treason.
No, we'll leave that. Maybe we can draw some aristocrats through this. So these, assuming we don't just get immediately pred dived. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Manticore not being able to consume it immediately, and I have a lock. I like it. So another card I would consider crafting very soon if you're doing this deck or this direction is Coup de Grace. Basically, it's going to allow you to double proc this Roderick and pull 2 golds from your deck. Don't eat that. God.
What is truth if not an illusion? The Emperor is dead.
Cool.
Long live the Emperor.
If you left that without consuming it, I would have got an extra point. So I'm going to be a little annoyed with that. Right. Cool video gamer. 40,000. Alright. Let's see if we can get a decent game here. We're either hitting complete clowns who aren't even trying, or people who like misplay pretty hard. So having trouble finding a good one to show. And a lot of Nilfgaard. Speaking of clowns. Always good to mulligan that in case we want to draw them with the Vigo. And we don't necessarily want these. Okay. Definitely Sergeant is a good opening play. We're going to go with it. Okay, enforcers. Let's just go ahead with a lock here. Now that we have status on the board, we can try for our dogs. If If we don't get them, these aren't bad to steal for us. They're actually good, just very good for us to steal. Okay, Ymir coming out early. I don't think we're gonna respond in kind.
What is truth if not an illusion?
So double proc on that, and let's do that, and then try. We'll just probably leave the round. He's trying to set some stuff up. We may play another, maybe the Emissary, just to get another card out of him, depending on what he's playing. Okay, he's going to get the Vigo of his own. See if it's enough here to get ahead. I don't think it will be. Oh, he's just going to go with another Enforcer. Okay. He's thinking he's going for the long round, or long game here in the round 1. I think he just wants control of the round. Actually, let's go ahead and play the Emissary. My thinking is it's a tall unit on the board, but it's removing it's not going to be enough to get him ahead. Simply, okay, late engine, that's ill-advised. Okay, now he's got 12 points to make up in 2 cards. It's not easy for Nilfgaard to make a lot of points like this, and his Ymir synergy with the Enforcer is purely based on me playing cards, so I'm not helping him out there by passing. This was slow, so this is a really nice time to pass. Okay, so having to spin Brathens is huge. Hopefully I don't have to tell you that, but oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Yep, fair enough. Getting a Brathens out of him. And an Ymir, and what did I spend? Vigo? And he spent his first Coup as well. Now we don't have Coup yet. We're a few hundred scraps away from getting the Coup. I believe there's only emissaries. Okay. I think we take the mulligan there. We do have our ball now. I don't know if he bleeds in this or not. Really good question. Yeah, I think we hold the aristocrat in case we need the ball for this round. This is a pretty darn good hand. Okay. All right. So it's good to have the lock. Okay. So we're both going for a long round, probably with Masquerade Ball. Yeah. Okay. The seditious aristocrats are good. He's really only a 7 unless I've already found. Wait, no, I played that in the last game. Nope. Okay, I did play Ox. Okay. Okay, that's great. Do I feel like this is worth it? I think I do if he doesn't have a Purify especially. Do we have another? I think we get rid of this. Yeah. Because we're giving him 2 points. Although the spying on his side actually is good for this. Okay. Start with that. Maybe we see a lot come out first. But if that gets locked, then Ymir doesn't, maybe. Okay, we've got a Fion. That's not bad.
superb specimen, truly.
Perfect. Love to see it.
That's a nice ring.
Like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now it's not really worth heat waving because it's only one Fangs of the Empire he's heat waving. Okay, he's purifying it. Well, that negates the entire effect of the defender.
Eyes closed, mouth open.
Now we have a lock for whatever we want to lock. We got a lot of options here. I think we just take the other. Now let's. Yeah. Okay.
Approach best zone discreetly.
Drinking can be hazardous to your health.
Fun stuff. I'm hoping we just got better value cards than him, especially since he spent the Emir and Brathens round 1. A Ramon, yes, Ramon is a good option. Okay. So we're getting one thing locked. Is it going to be Thirsty Dame or one of the aristocrats? Thirsty Dame it is. Thirsty Dame it is. Doesn't really matter much, does it? I figure we're going to see poisons at some point from him. Alright, we do need to get this down. Play around treasons.
But one punishment for traitors.
So we got a lock now on the board we can steal if we really need it. We got 2 chances to steal it. I think we'll be alright. Okay. Could you put a Purify down too, please? Sure, sure. You're a real fun guy.
My duty? To stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
Sure. These are kind of slow plays. Man, a lot of armor there too. Hopefully play something to the right of that informant so Milton can get some nice value. I think at this point Emperor is probably pretty good. Oh yes, thank you. I mean, sucks losing that, but okay, just take forever, alright? Jeez, so much armor.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
So yeah, this lead looks great, but that's actually going bye-bye, most likely. So it's a real shame that got locked. I wish he had played a Purify. That's okay, these guys are still going to benefit 2 each from this. What are we playing with Minnow here? Okay, I mean that's a thing that you do sometimes. Sure. We'll go ahead and take this now. Again, 20 points are going to be bye-bye pretty soon. Unless he was just totally bluffing with that poison. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. 4-point tourney joust. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, lots of armor on this board, man. Right. Maybe we demoralize him pretty well with this.
Abstinence is the one thing I cannot abide.
I mean, I don't really have anything particularly that I need to protect. Everything that's good is going to go tall on its own. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got no engines that benefit from it. Really? I forgot that this leader does the armor. No wonder there's so much. Yeah, sure. That's fine. He's clogged me up. That's it's not bad. So this is 8. This is only 7. We'll just go for the 8. Cool. Yeah, full rows, man. So, yeah, if he's got the poison and he can pull back these units, then probably pretty good. This last card was Yennifer, he'd be in trouble. But, yeah, that's done, and we'll see if he's got the points. Yeah, I don't think that's enough. Let's see. Get the poison. The poison's not quite enough. Are you doing the math so you know if you can emote properly or what? Keeping us all in suspense. Oh yeah, it's the other Coup. Of course it's the other Coup. That's really sad. Yeah, of course it's the other Coup. Guys, there's a lesson for you. You can know pretty easily what's in your hand, what's in your opponent's hand, especially if it's an echo card. He probably didn't mull it away. Although, I'll say that Coup's not very good in that deck because he doesn't have a ton of spies he can count on for, you know, targets for that. Now, if I'd left the Anna unprotected from the leader, I didn't even think about it, but when I did it, I honestly saved myself some because he would have had another leader. But it wouldn't have been enough either, I'm just saying. Yeah. We outvalued him by a significant amount. And a lot of that, I'm going to be honest, was just Masquerade Ball, doing Masquerade Ball things. But, you know, our seditious aristocrats played for, you know, lots of points, while his did not. I think we did pretty well there. And we, you know, for a hodgepodge of a deck that's honestly shouldn't do as well as it does. It kind of comes down to the fundamentals, really, especially these ranks. I think it's actually kind of nice that you can just kind of play with what you find, and if you've got good fundamentals, you continue winning and you climb. And of course, the more you play, the more resources you get, and you can make these decks better. Obviously, this is nowhere near optimized, but on the plus side, they don't really know what to expect. So that's the list. That's our Nilfgaard starter deck, souped up with some finds from the kegs, plus Craft 1, Craft 2, Craft 3. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We might do one more with it a little bit more upgraded for later, but we also might just talk about new decks, new synergies, stuff that's coming out with the new expansion, and just have some fun. We got a couple more factions to do for starter decks, so if you're interested in one of those factions, maybe getting started from where you're at, or if you haven't started yet and you're just trying to decide, tune in for those. And we'll see you next time. Follow us on Twitch and Twitter, Zach of Rivia. It's going to be fun. You'll enjoy it.